No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is.
Boom.
Yes, biddly boy. Yes, yo. Here we go. Ain't nobody down around here. You know what time it is. Get that budget in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. Keep the subscribers coming in. Keep the likes coming in. Appreciate every which one of you. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share the vids about. Been plenty going on. I've not dropped in since Thursday, so it's been quite a long hiatus in the grand scheme of things compared to how much I've been on it of late. But I've just been super busy over the weekend. Off on holiday next week, so I had plenty of stuff to sort out. So I'll hopefully I'll do some quick ship vids from a sunny beach somewhere, which will be probably alcohol infused, but I don't think any of the videos are particularly enjoyable. So we'll just keep it on the rain on that train. Quick ship vid. There's been loads going on. Obviously, Yaka Biol is done. So I don't know why the panic was occurring. I never panicked for one single moment about it. Obviously, a few nonsense articles came out about him going to Newcastle and all this stuff. People saying that 49ers aren't being aggressive enough in this window. What's with the hold up? It's like we really do need to just chill, don't we? Let them do their own thing. They don't need to be tweeted and tagged every 5 minutes off some randomer on Twitter, like waiting for a response of the 49ers, or some loose investor gets a tweet saying like, what's happening with Jacobiol, like, you know, and then the same person would be like, you're an idiot, you on Twitter, mate, nobody's going to see this. It's like, well, no, you're tweeting like the 49ers and assuming that Parag's going to get back to you. The only place he steps is on Farker's feet, and we know this. So, you know, they're going to get the job done, boys. We've 15 million for Biol, which I think is proper good business. He looks like a monster and he's saying all right things. To be fair to him, he seems like he's up for the challenge. You know, it'd be good to have a bit of competition at centre-back for Pascal, Struijk. And I'm going to include Rodon on that, on the basis that, you know, everybody's saying that it's coming in for Struijk. But you never know. Rodon is also slightly untested at this level. So we're all on a step up, aren't we? And to be fair, Struijk's been there, done it as well. So, you know, there's going to be plenty of competition for places. You know, people are already saying it's the signing of the season, and I would err on the side of tranquility with that and just sort of see. Let's wait and see some performances first. I know I always bang on about it, but, you know, every time we bring a player in, all the fan base seems to go straight in for it. And it's just like, right, you know, that once so long ago that Struijk was everybody's favourite centre-back, and now we're getting pellets for saying that we potentially have to replace him in a few years. And now we're sort of in that position, and everybody's just saying that Biol is the saviour. So I'm not too sure. But for that price, you know, it really does seem like good business. It's yet again the 49ers not getting bullied in the transfer market. Not potentially that I'm saying that they wanted 40 million for Biol or whatever, but I just think every time they hit a transfer, you always think, yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? 15 million, because what can you get for 15 million ultimately? Nothing or something. You know, it's like that's kind of my point with the 30 millions signings. I think really there's 15 million pound players out there that have got more to prove, sort of more up for it than potentially, you know, your 30 million staple marquee signings. I know I keep saying it, but I are interested in a marquee signing. I want super duper strong competitive footballers, and Biol does look like that. And then we've got Pascal in there, Rodon, you know, it's really strengthened us up. We've got Ampadu that can play there. I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying, you know, we do have him that can play there. If we bring in another central midfielder, you know, then Ampadu, we don't know what's going to happen with Ampadu and Tanaka. If somebody of top quality comes in, you just don't know. Everybody's position is up for debate, isn't it? Meslier, Silent S to Fenerbahce. Unfortunately, the only joke on the channel, which is Meslier, Silent S, may have to go. I want to discuss something like why the hate for Mes, Silent S, genuinely, because like I'm willing to. Right, there was some noise that came out about Galatasaray, and like I have a mate on the phone saying, "Why the fuck would we do business with them and stuff?" And I understand the Galatasaray stuff, but for Meslier, Silent S, one, he has to just go try get some game time somewhere, doesn't he? I'd rather he goes to Fenerbahce than Galatasaray. But ultimately, it's not really his decision where the club chooses to send him. Also, how many clubs are going to come in for him to buy him? Do you want the chairman, Parag, to say, right, we're not selling him to Galatasaray, nobody else are interested, so we're not willing to take any money for him, and he sits on our bench and winds the whole fan base up when he plays in FA Cup games and League Cup games? Or do you want rid of him? I'd rather not work with Galatasaray, but I don't really care at this point. It's business, isn't it? Let's send over his mistakes as far as I'm concerned. But just, he's 25, he's Mez. There's a long way for him to go. Genuinely, I get pelters for it, and I don't care. A poor season last year, but he's achieved a lot more. I'm willing to wage a bet with you. I'm willing to say it's a long-term and a short-term wager. I think Meslier, Silent S will have a better career over his entire career than Joseph does. And I think in the 4 years that Joseph's got to catch up to Mez, Silent S, I don't think he'll have had as much game time, as much Premier League football, or wherever Joseph is to go. Let's see how he gets on where he moves. Now, the reason why I say that is because Mez is a young keeper in the grand scheme of things. He's had a really poor season. Always had a bit of an error in him, like many keepers have at a young age. He's got a lot of maturing to do. I actually think getting away, getting abroad will do him the world of good. Probably not getting peppered as much in a different league, less physical, because a lot of it were people, we're getting it put on him quite a bit. He's already achieved significantly more than Joseph. Joseph's got 4 years on him, but 4 years. I don't know where my point is. I don't know where this 21-year-old we can wait and we have to look after these players and loan them out and stuff. Nobody called for that for Geldart. Nobody called for that for Greenwood, and Geldart's done more for the club. Nobody called for that for Somerville, to be fair. There were people that weren't keen on Somerville. People now aren't keen on Nonto. Nobody wants to look after them players for some reason. And I'm not just saying people weren't keen on Nonto on the basis that he spat Dummy out at the start of last season or season before. I think possibly that might have been both. He's always spitting Dummy out a little bit, and people reveling in the fact that he got sent off the other day for Italy under 21s. Like, Nonto's a decent player. He's going to offer us more in Premier League than Joseph is. Some people, it's a weird one. Some people either want Nonto starting by any means necessary, or they want him. They don't think he should be anywhere near it. I think he's a decent player, very young, better than Joseph. Already done a lot more for the club than Joseph, but then people want Joseph to hang around and go out on loan as though he'll go out on loan and do really well, and then he comes back and we sell him for a bucket load of money. Just get rid. Everybody goes on about the dead wood. Nobody wants Byram to sign a contract for no reason, even though he'll be on a pittance and he'll be a good squad player and he holds standards. He's a standard setter, standard bearer. He loves Leeds United, probably happy with a bit part position. Joseph can't keep himself out at fucking headlines in news and stuff. So I don't get it. It's not a diss to Joseph, and I know I get shit for saying it is, but I don't know. He hasn't done a great deal, has he? He hasn't shown me anything. Or has he you? Are you guys seen something else? Tapping against some shits in under 21s. It's a different world when you start playing against big meatheads at centre-back, big Lewis Dunks at World that don't really give a shit who you are. And they're just like, well, I know what I am now, mate. I'm a big, horrible centre-back. So you're going to have to be a big, horrible centre-forward. And if you're not, he's going to get eaten for breakfast. So shit is as shit does. My point is, I'll probably follow for the limited amount that I follow players after they've left the club. That's the reality. I look at Raf every now and again, but I don't really care once they leave the club. I sort of saw early doors what Archie Gray were up to at Tottenham. Same with Phillips at Man City. I sort of follow him loosely. Firpo, I'll probably find out after about 8 games what he's been up to. And then, unfortunately, they're forgotten. So, I will definitely look at Meslier before I start looking at what Joseph's been up to. But because of this wager, because of this bet, and I've not quite worked exactly out the bet how we're going to do it, but we'll do it on a live one day where we actually work out some parameters and how we can judge success. Because obviously one of them's a striker and one of them's a keeper. With Meslier, Silent S on the way out, potentially to Fenerbahce, does that mean there's a new keeper coming in? Some people are saying we need to get rid of Cairns. Like, Cairns has done something. Like, he's got to get out as well. That's what I mean. Let's get players in, boys. I don't care about getting them out. Get players in. Players in are better than getting them out. So let's get a keeper in and then go, all right, Bosch, Nick Pope, bang, right. Meslier, you can move on. Do you know what I mean? We've got Nick Pope, but we're not going to get Nick Pope. So, we're going to end up with Darlow and then no second goalkeeper as it stands. But, again, we trust in the 49ers. There's been also some rumblings about a striker as well all day. Past sort of week and a half, there's been loads of strikers popping up. Still waiting on a number 10 really to get sort of strongly spoke about. which is a slight concern. But I do think we'll be signing a 10. I think all the way through the middle of the pitch with a left back, I think is what we'll be getting. Centre back, a goalkeeper centre back, which we already got, centre midfielder, number 10, and somebody up top. You know, which you can't ask for much more than that in truth. You know, people saying that we need a winger, we definitely need a left back, because if Firpo goes, we haven't got one really, so which is a bit frightening. But I think there'll be another couple of old heads to come in yet. There's been some more talk about Soufal today. But yeah, there's this Nikola Kristovic guy, apparently. Again, this is what I mean with 49ers. They've apparently been trying to get a lot more money for him. And then they've apparently, you know, some networks are saying, some news articles are saying that we've agreed terms with him. On our terms, around 20 million or something it is, again, which would be a decent amount of money to spend on a player rather than going, you know, he could easily, they wanted 30. You know, if you're getting him for 18, 19, 49 is at it again. I love it. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Keep subscribing, keep liking. Appreciate every which one of you. I'll try to get around to all comments. I might drop live even maybe a little bit later on if there's any need for that or whatever. I don't know. I might just pop in. But yeah, there'll be shit vids for the rest of the week. Obviously, Thursday we'll go live. I'm going to try and get someone on for an interview this week. And then I'll, take it easy, everybody. Peace.
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is.
Boom.